Hi Aries, welcome to March. This is Teresa from tarotbyt.com. And before I start your reading, I'm going to call in some good energy. So this month we have a full moon in Virgo on March 9th, and then Mercury goes direct after having been retrograde for the past 3 weeks. And then we have the solstice, or the spring equinox I should say, on the 20th when the sun moves into your sign, 0 degrees Aries, and that starts the new astrological year. And then we have a new moon in your sign on the 24th in Aries. So we have a lot coming up for you this month. Let's see what the cards say, which I'll get into the astrology later, but let's see what the cards say for Aries. What's coming up in terms of love and relationships for the month of March? And for those of you having a happy birthday at the end of March, happy birthday, Aries. So let's see what's coming up for Aries for March. What is coming up? What does Aries need to know for the month of March about love and relationships? And anything critical or important. And we have St. Patrick's Day for those who are celebrating on the 17th. The Four of Wands. The Queen of Cups, the Nine of Wands in the past, the Ace of Swords, the Five of Swords, the Seven of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, the Three of Wands, the Star. Okay, let's move these over here a little bit. And the outcome, the Sun. March is going to be a good month for you, Aries. Okay, so you're starting out with the Four of Wands. This is a card of victory, stability. For some of you, it could be marriage. You're building something solid in a relationship in March, or you're looking for security and stability. And there could be this Queen of Cups. You could be dealing with someone who's very compassionate, very caring. It could be a water sign, which would be Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, or someone with that in their chart somewhere. Maybe a moon or a rising sign, Venus. But even if it's not the sign, this person's very compassionate, very intuitive. This person just gives, and they're here to help you. So, and this person gives advice too. This person, if it's a male or female, it just doesn't, the court cards can be either sex. But the Queen of Cups is someone who's very compassionate and just very understanding, very giving. She has a lot of deep feelings for people and things. And she's there to listen to your troubles and, pat your forehead when you're sick. So you could be connecting with someone who is very maternal or very mothering or very nurturing. In the past, you have the Nine of Wands. This is a card of struggle. Like you've been struggling with something, and at some point you might have felt like giving up. Like you feel like you're constantly under attack with the Nine of Wands. Like either you're always having to defend yourself, or just when you think you've solved something, it comes back to be revisited, and you feel like it's a constant struggle or a constant battle. So you've been dealing with that energy in the recent past. And then finally, I think that you finally are coming, in March, you're going to come to a realization that you can't fix what's wrong about something, and you have to cut your losses and move on. So the Ace of Swords here is the Warrior card. This is a card of a new beginning. You may have decided already to take a new direction with your life, to take action, to change your life, because Aries is not one to sit on the sidelines, and wait for things to happen. Aries is one to go out and make things happen. If your life is stagnating or your relationship is, you feel like you're stuck and you're not moving anywhere, Aries is the first person to say, let's get something started. Because you're a cardinal sign, and you're the first cardinal sign with the most energy. And that raw, like you have a lot of courage. Aries has a lot of courage. So the Ace of Swords in the recent past you've decided to take action. You're having a change of thought. Because aces represent new beginnings. And it's like a new seed, a new energy that's coming in. And swords represent the mental plane. So your thinking is changing. You're coming up with new ideas maybe of how to deal with the struggles you've been dealing with. And you have the Five of Swords here. There's something, you may feel victimized in some way, or you may feel like you're under attack. And the Nine of Wands is saying don't give up. If you have a goal that you want to achieve in a relationship or even in life, don't give up because the struggle, usually what happens with the Nine of Wands is you've been struggling for a long time, trying to create something. And at some point in the nine, when you're at the 9 stage, sometimes some people feel like giving up, like, oh, I'm never going to get anywhere with this relationship, or I'm never going to get anywhere with this problem. I just feel like I've been struggling and struggling. Life's a struggle. And maybe I should just quit. The 9 is saying, just give it one more push, because you can overcome the obstacle if you don't give up. Now, the Five of Swords, sometimes it talks about some kind of toxic situation. So you may be existing in a relationship that has some problems that can't be solved. It's either a relationship or it could be a work situation. That no matter what you do, you have to accept that certain things and certain people are going to be who they are. So you can't change people. So you have to either say, I love you for who you are, and I'm willing to work with you. Or if you can't do that, then you have to cut your losses and move on. And so here you have the Seven of Pentacles, where you're kind of contemplating, and I think this is more of a work thing than love, because I feel like love could be your salvation in March. It's going to help you through the struggles. I feel like whatever you're dealing with, whatever you've been struggling with, you have to admit, maybe you've been trying to solve some problem on your own, and you don't want to reach out for help. And you have to finally accept, you know what, I need help. I can't do this by myself. And you have this Queen here, someone who's very compassionate and loving, who's willing to help you, who's there for you. And the Seven of Pentacles is about planting seeds and wondering, where they're going to grow. Are they going to grow? What am I, I'm putting energy into something. Is it going to go anywhere? So it could be a relationship. A new relationship comes up, or an existing relationship takes a different turn. And once you make the decision, okay, I'm going to cut my losses, I'm going to accept the situation for what it is. So you have a choice. You either accept the person for who they are and not try to change it, but work within the limitations, or you decide, I want something totally different, and I'm going to just move on. But I feel like you have a goal or a dream that you can achieve in March. You have the Star here and the Ten of Pentacles. And the Three of Wands. So the Ten of Pentacles is the wealth card. It's the family home card. It's the card of feeling like you have a solid place to live. Like this is a card of creating a happy home. One that's filled with abundance, because you see the couple here, it's the male, and it's the two people that are in love, and they have their child here, and they have the dogs. So it's a relationship that is marked by stability and faithfulness and security. But it's in your negative thinking sector, so you may be doubting that this is possible for you. You may be saying, oh, well, that happens to other people, it doesn't happen for me. But you have to stop thinking that way, because our thoughts right now, we're in this powerful time where our thoughts are manifesting quicker. In the past, you may have had a dream or a goal, and you think about it, and it takes a long time to see it come to fruition. But now things are speeding up. So you have to be careful what you're thinking and not put any negative vibes into the future. Focus on, yes, I can do this. Yes, this is possible. Rather than, oh, that'll never happen to me. That'll never happen for me. It happens forever. Don't be the victim. Be the person you were meant to be, the leader. Because Aries is a leadership sign. You have the courage to go where no one else, other people sit on the sidelines and dream. You take action. And you can act this month, and you may have already started with the Ace of Swords in the recent past. You may have already started to come up with a plan, and you may have already started putting things into place or starting to implement that plan. And it's going to lead to you achieving a long-held goal or dream. And you might be dealing with some pushback or resistance in March, where people, maybe, how there's a saying, how does it go? People who say it can't be done should get out of the way of the people trying to do it, something like that. Like, if you have a goal, and don't listen to the naysayers. If you want to do something, if you think that you can get something done, you just go for it. Don't let anybody hold you back. If you're in a toxic relationship that's draining your energy or holding you back, maybe you need to move on, or just ignore the voice naysayers. Because you have the potential to have this Ten of Pentacles. And then you have the Three of Wands, which is in your environment. The Three of Wands is saying what you've planted with the Seven of Pentacles is going to start to show results. So you're going to start to see that whatever you began, I think you've already started something. And now you're kind of in this waiting mode. You're trying to build more security, more stability in life and in relationships. And trying to create that happy relationship, that happy home, that feeling of, yes, I have I have a place where I'm welcome, where I'm loved. You're going to start to see results of that. And you have the Star here in your wish fulfillment. How good can that be? The Star gives hope. So whatever you've been struggling with in the past, there's hope with the Star. And the Sun. The Sun as an outcome is the best card to have, one of the best cards to have. Both these two cards, the Star and the Sun, it's a blessing. And the Four of Wands. You can have that relationship that you want. You're going to be connecting with someone. The Sun is about, first of all, the Sun means like you're going to overcome whatever problems you've been struggling with. But two, it means you're going to start to have fun again. Like maybe you haven't had fun because you've been struggling, either working too hard or struggling with some problems in a relationship. This is saying you can overcome it. Just don't give up. Maybe you might need to talk to someone who's a counselor to help you get through some rough spots. But the Sun is a card of marriage. The Sun is about connecting with someone that you really enjoy being with. You're like two kids when you're together. So you could be finding someone that brings fun back in your life, that brings creativity and joy. So you might, you're going to overcome any feelings of victimization, any toxic situations. You can overcome it. Just don't give up and plant your seeds. Take action. Go after this dream. So let's see what the astrology has to say for March. So the full moon. Something is coming out. Full moons always bring things to light. And with Virgo and Pisces, so the moon is in Virgo, the sun's in Pisces. This is about service, work, details. It's happening in your 6th house, and the moon's in the 6th, the sun's in the 12th. So you may have to deal with things that have to do with work or health. If you've been ignoring a health situation or a work problem, it's going to come out at this full moon where you have to take action. You can't ignore it anymore. So with the sun in the 12th, you may feel like being a hermit. You may have felt like, I don't want to socialize, I don't want to get out, I just want to, nurture myself, I want to just be holed up at home and just think about, just thinking about what I need to let go of. Because the full moon means the end of a cycle. And in this Pisces, the sun being in Pisces, it's getting ready to move into Aries. So you're kind of finishing up something, or you're ending something. You're clearing the decks, getting ready for a new beginning when the sun goes into Aries. And when the new moon in your sign comes later in the month. So it's time of release. You have to release anything that's been holding you back. You have great planets going through your 10th house. I mean, a lot of changes in your 10th house, which is the house of career. Mars in the 10th, you're feeling more ambitious. You've decided to take action. Jupiter in the 10th brings luck and recognition. And it's going to join up with Pluto at this full moon. It's close. It's only 3 degrees away. But in March, it's going to, eventually Jupiter and Pluto are going to come together. That's a powerful aspect. It can transform your life in a major way. And bring opportunities you never dreamed of. But it really depends on you, because Pluto can go either way. When Pluto's in the 10th, it can be the greatest achievement you've ever had, and you have also Saturn there. Or it can mean a fall from grace if you haven't taken responsibility for yourself. See, the key with the Capricorn, the Saturn energy, the Capricorn energy, is about work and responsibility, stepping up to the plate, putting in, saying, I own this, I've got this. If you've been spending your life, and I'm not saying that you are, but I'm just saying, for those who are expecting something for nothing, like, I just want to get this thing, I don't have to do anything, you're going to be disappointed. And sometimes Pluto in the 10th or Saturn in the 10th can be a fall from grace when all that comes to the surface. But if you've been working really hard toward a goal, you're going to start to see some results now and recognition. And you might get sometimes when Pluto goes through the 10th, you have a change in status. It could be, going from single to married, or going from, the assistant to the boss. You're changing. The way people are seeing you is changing. You're coming, that's like the 10th house is the culmination of all your efforts. It's showing this is what you've achieved, for good or for bad. So if you've put in all the work and you've done all the things that you're supposed to do, then you get the reward. And it's not punishment or anything. It's just really, this is the results of your effort. So if you haven't done anything, then you get the booby prize in the Cracker Jack box. If you have worked, though, you're getting the gold star. Now, at the same time, Venus is going to be hooking up with Uranus in Taurus in your 2nd house. So that's bringing money. It could bring money or love unexpectedly. And what it's going to bring, because Uranus is the unexpected. It's like you can't predict what Uranus is going to do. But what Uranus does want you to do is to break free of anything that's been holding you back in terms of self-esteem. Like, have you been feeling like I'm not good enough? Or not, if you're not earning what you need to earn, is it because you feel like you don't have, it's a self-esteem issue? Or if you're not getting the love you deserve, are you giving love? Are you feeling like, well, I'm not lovable, so I'm not even trying because I don't want to get rejected because no one's going to love me? Don't be the victim. Venus and Uranus can give you, bring abundance unexpectedly. In Taurus, it's going to bring you security. So there could be an unexpected financial windfall, or you could connect with someone in a relationship that brings also financial stability. Jupiter is in, let's see, where's Jupiter? Jupiter is trining the North Node. No, what am I saying? The North Node, never mind. Uranus is trining the North Node, or the South Node. Uranus is trining the South Node, and it's sextile the North Node, sorry. The North Node and the South Node are in your, the North Node is in Cancer, in the 4th house, and the South Node is in the 10th house in Capricorn. So, what it's asking you, you've been working really hard on your career and on being seen in the world and establishing a certain presence. You might have been neglecting your home base or your family. So now you're going to have to make a choice. Like, it doesn't matter how successful you are out there in the world if you don't have a home to come home to. If you don't have a family or a tribe that you can connect with. And that's what Cancer is about, because you need that Aries has a tendency to be very independent. Your energy is like, I don't need anybody, I can do it. I can do it myself, You're slowing me down, I just need to get out there and do it. But this energy is saying, you don't neglect that sense of home and family. You need that as much as you need career success. As much as you need outward success, you need that home base. You need to have people around you that are nurturing you, that are supporting you emotionally and in other ways, like where you feel secure, that you have some place to come home to. Like after you've been on the battlefield, you come home and there's someone there to help tend to your, take care of your wounds. So that's going to be an issue this month for you. But Uranus and Venus are favorable to this north and south node. So there could be some unexpected developments that bring in more money, where you start to feel more secure. And then maybe you feel more worthy of love. And it's kind of like a domino effect. Like, okay, I have money now. I feel more worthy of love. I'm going to go out and meet someone. I don't have to feel like a beggar. But you're going to be working on your self-esteem. And Venus can help you. And Jupiter conjunct Pluto, that's a wealth aspect right there. I mean, in your 10th house. So I just see career success in addition to love. But a lot of that energy, that career success may bring love. As you become more successful, you start attracting love. And then Mercury, that was retrograde in Aquarius and Pisces and all that. It started out in Pisces, went back to Aquarius. Now it's going to go back into Pisces in March. It's going direct at the same time at this full moon. So it's like, okay, now you spent enough time coasting. Now it's time to, once Mercury goes direct and the full moon comes, it shows you what you need to do. The moon is going to show you where you've been holding yourself back. And it's going to bring certain things, like, have I been sacrificing? Because the Virgo is about sacrifice and service and focusing on the details. And Pisces is about the big dream, the forest. So you're going to see that dichotomy, by focusing too much on the details and not losing sight of the big picture. Have I been working too hard and losing sight of, have I been giving too much? Or have I been expecting others to give too much to me? You're going to see the truth of all of that. And it's going to, any kind of misunderstandings that have been happening with Mercury, or any kind of slowdowns when Mercury was retrograde, things are going to start to move at this full moon. And especially at the new moon in Aries, which is happening at the end of March on the 24th. You've got this sun and moon in Aries in your first house, and it's connecting with Chiron, the wounded healer. I feel like you're going to heal a lot of your wounds in March, especially. You have an opportunity for a new beginning, to release anything that's been toxic in your life. And that could be people, it could be substances, it could be a work environment, anything that has been draining your energy, dragging you down. You have a time, this is a time for you to heal. Especially with this Chiron connection. It's time to wake up to your wounds and bring them to the surface so you can release them and heal them. This full moon, or this new moon, is forming a T-square with the north node and the south node. So the way out of this tension, there's tension when you have a T-square. So the new moon is at the midpoint between the north and the south node. So it's like, do I hold on to the past? Do I release the past? And how do I move toward the future, which is where the north node kind of is pointing? Because an opposition is like trying to find the middle ground, the balance. And the way out of a T-square is through the opposite sign. So that's Libra for you. And that's in your 7th house of partnership. So there's going to be a partnership. I feel really strongly about this. That there's going to be a partnership that comes, that you have an opportunity to form a partnership in March, at the end of March, especially around this new moon. That's going to help you feel more loved, more nurtured. It's going to help you to heal. And it's going to bring more abundance in your life. Because Venus in Taurus is trining it's kind of a wide angle, but it's trining Jupiter, Pluto, and Mars in your 10th house. So I feel if you don't have money coming in March from your career, some kind of like financial increase, or love, I'd be surprised. And Mercury is sextile Uranus So you could hear some message or news is coming in. Maybe you're working on some project behind the scenes. And Venus is also going to be... Yeah, Venus is trining Jupiter. When Venus trines Jupiter, it's opportunity. And Jupiter conjunct Pluto, and it's in your 2nd house and 10th house. So there's going to be money coming in through career. And Mercury is sextile Uranus in your 2nd house. When Uranus is in your 2nd house, a lot of times people wind up working for themselves. They move out of like a corporate structure, and they because Uranus brings like feast or famine. You know, you may make a lot of money at one point, and then you're not making anything. It's like back and forth. So it's kind of like the freelance kind of, or the independent contractor, or the entrepreneur energy, where you don't have this paycheck every week, but you're in for abundance this month, especially with Venus and all these, and it's sextiling Neptune, Venus. So that means that you can meet, if you're going to meet someone this month, or even if you're in a relationship, it'll feel like a soulmate. You're going to feel a real spiritual connection to someone. And optimism. You're going to be feeling more optimistic than you have in a long time. You're going to feel like, hey, I'm really, maybe my life can change. Maybe I can find love. Maybe I can find security. It's been a struggle. You have the 9 of Wands here. So you've been struggling. But you're going to come up. You're going to take action, and that action is going to lead to some type of success. You're going to be experiencing career success. I know this is a love reading, but I can't not say what I see. And you're going to be connecting with someone that could feel like a soulmate. That it's almost like, the person who inspires you, who's like the wind in your sails, kind of. And that things are going to end on a really positive note. I feel like you can heal a long-standing problem. You can achieve a goal in love or even in career that you've wanted to achieve for a long time. You're going to be feeling not so alone and more at part of something, part of a group of people or friends or family. You're going to be connecting with people that really care about you. You're going to feel cared for and nurtured in March. So happy new beginnings, Aries. Take this spring equinox energy and this new moon energy. All the planets are going direct in March to initiate something that's really dear to your heart, and you can achieve it. You've got the sun on your side. The sun's going to come out and bring in this dream that you've always had in the back of your head. You're finally going to achieve a goal or a dream that you've wanted for a long time. So that's my forecast, Aries, for March. I hope you have a wonderful March. And happy birthday, and thank you all who've been supporting this channel through either liking. If you like this video, please like or comment. I read all the comments. Thank you for your support for those who've ordered readings. If you'd like a private reading, click on the link in the description box, and we'll get you on the schedule. I'll take you to my website. And we can deal with your specific issue. This is a general reading. It may not speak to everyone. But if you get a private reading, we'll be dealing with only you and your situation. So have a wonderful March, Aries. Have a happy birthday if you're celebrating. Happy St. Patrick's Day. And I'll talk to you again next month. Okay, bye now.